Craig and I met when we were kids. We started dating when we were teenagers, and then Carter, he's 14, so we had him 14 years ago. And then Chase came along 8 years ago. He's the wild one. His nickname is the blender. If you've ever ran a blender without a top, that is Chase. In his ultrasound, they had saw that he had a club foot. So we knew well in advance that Chase was already facing obstacles. And we knew that once he was born, he was gonna have to have surgeries, or he was gonna have to wear braces and do all of these things.
I remember Chase coming as an infant, very young, newborn. He was probably 5 or 6 days old, and he had a club foot.
We love Dr. O'Malley. What's nice about Dr. O'Malley, she is an excellent doctor, but she has consistently been there. He's had a couple surgeries, but he does pretty good with it. He kind of embraces it and knows like, oh yeah, okay, so this time I'll be able to put my foot down and I can run a little bit faster because my foot is straighter. He couldn't have been in better hands. Carter initially started walking late, so we kind of always had a feeling that like something was going on, but we couldn't really figure it out. And then when he got into first grade, a new physical therapist started at the school and thought that maybe he should be evaluated for Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy. The simplest way to describe Duchenne is it's a genetic disease. The muscle breaks down and they're missing a protein in their body that kind of repairs the muscle. Over time, everything gets weak, they stop walking, and then of course heart and lungs are muscles too, so things start happening with that. And the pediatrician sent in a referral to neuromuscular at Strong, and then they did testing, and then that's when they diagnosed Carter. Once we found out exactly what it was, that it was genetic and that there was also a chance that Chase could have it, Carter was diagnosed when he was 7, so Chase was 2 when we got his diagnosis as well. We were kind of blindsided. We weren't really expecting it to be double, and it was like a second punch.
The significance of a diagnosis of Duchenne's muscular dystrophy is profound. It is not as simple as an otherwise healthy child of the same age.
Research has come a long way, but even like statistically, the chances of them surviving into their 20s is really slim. So it was kind of like a hard pill to swallow, because then it's like eventually they stop walking and stuff, so you spend all this time teaching them how to walk and ride a bike and do all of these things for them to one day not be able to do any of that. My boys were a huge piece of why I wanted to be a nurse. The diagnosis came, and then a couple months later, I woke up on my 30th birthday and I looked at Craig and I said, you know what? I'm quitting my job today. I think I'm gonna go be a nurse. It's kind of opened my eyes to peer-reviewed journals and therapy trials and all kinds of different research that if I wasn't a nurse, I probably wouldn't have paid any attention to. Once we saw that Strong was doing a gene therapy trial, we were like, okay, we're gonna sign Chase up for this. We've seen improvements here and there. Just him like running and trying to keep up with his peers. He seems to be a little bit more active. He seems to be standing up a little straighter, not as tired.
The University of Rochester is a leading center in the nation in a number of areas of healthcare. And what often surprises people is there's no need to travel outside Western New York to get cutting-edge care, to participate in clinical trials, and to be exposed to clinicians who have tremendous expertise with the latest surgical and other treatment techniques.
Controlling his foot position is my goal, to keep him as active as possible. The challenges of Duchenne's muscular dystrophy for him as he gets older are hopefully being minimized by being on this amazing trial, which is going to help him stay healthy for as long as possible.
I see mobility as central to the quality of life. And in fact, it's known to be central to maintaining health. And across University of Rochester, we see the interactions and the collaborations with specialists from other areas of medicine, with internal medicine specialists, with endocrinologists, with neurologists, with general surgeons, with trauma surgeons, with physical medicine and rehabilitation specialists.
It's really great that we have access to all these doctors because they're all in the same system. So it's easy to reach out to them. They communicate amongst each other, and they're getting, the best care because of how close all these providers are.
So for Chase and his whole family, being able to stay here and avail of the multidisciplinary expertise, the resources, the advocacy to get the trial brought here to Rochester has meant that the family can stay here. They've never had to move their care elsewhere. He's had continuity from the beginning, and we can review everything and work as a team for his optimization.
Carter stopped walking when he was 13. He stopped walking at an age where all of his friends were starting to gain independence. No matter how hard of a time Carter was having and how bad he was struggling, especially when he stopped walking, he has always encouraged Chase. They've both kind of been an inspiration to each other. And then Chase got this therapy, and he has like a second chance. I have a really hard time because all of these kids are playing sports and they get to do all of these things, and they don't have to worry about going to the doctors or doing the things that I have to do every day. So it just makes me appreciate things. I want them to know that they have the world in front of them, and they can do whatever they want. They can be whoever they want.
To see Chase come into the clinic and be doing so well at this stage with future goals evolving all the time is an amazing thing. And it's all due to this new hope that the research has given him and his family.
We treat people of all ages for things that challenge their motion. We're committed to all those age groups and actually have specialists who are prepared to collaborate with other healthcare experts across the University of Rochester to bring all the expertise to bear, particularly in complex situations.
I would like to say thank you to the care team. I really don't think that we would be where we're at without them being as supportive as they have. We were so grateful for coming to the University of Rochester because we knew that we were getting the care that the boys deserved.